South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world. Our gaming amenities include over 60 table games and over 2,600 of the most popular slot and video poker machines. We have penny slots, including the popular Buffalo games, and real machines like Wheel of Fortune, Triple Sevens, and Megabucks. If you prefer video poker, try Deuces Wild, Double Double Bonus, or a variety of multi-denomination games. Or try your hand at one of the most popular casino table games in the world, Blackjack. Don't let the game intimidate you. Blackjack, also known as 21, is both easy and fun, and our dealers are always happy to assist. And the best part? Blackjack always pays 3 to 2. Next, check out the roulette tables. Roulette is one of the easiest casino games to learn, and so much fun to play. It's a favorite of both beginners and seasoned players. In addition to blackjack and roulette, our casino pit features over 60 popular table games like Baccarat, Pai Gow Poker, 3-Card Poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Mississippi Stud. So get out of your room and come join in the fun.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching? This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're landing me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is Sports by the Book. We have our full assortment of cameras back. Very nice. I'm Jeff Parles. She is Alex White. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
I think that might be the most excitement anyone's ever had over a camera. Or at least...
It's up there, yeah.
It's up there. But, you know, it's All-Star break week. We're going to have our good friend Dwayne Colucci in a few moments here. We're going to talk home run derby also with Colucci. We're going to do a home run derby draft that we concocted about 25 minutes ago, but we're going to bring it to the air here. So looking forward to that. First half, even though we've almost played 100 games in a Major League Baseball season, is here. Home run derby. We'll give you the odds in a few moments. But Alex, it's a nice week for all of us to take our breath. We're going to have a full second half preview on Thursday. We're going to have a lot of NFL talk on the show this week. So even with a lesser action, we'll still have plenty of action to talk about.
Absolutely. And it is kind of nice for us that are doing every sport, right? A little bit of a slowdown. You get to catch up on football, both NFL and college. And it's kind of like the restart, right? It's almost like January 1st. All right, we're getting ready. Second half of the year. And that means football is even closer. So it's a lot of fun. I'm excited about Thursday, too, to really break down second half of baseball. Couple bets that I've already made, couple angles. And now it's really about which teams are going to make the playoffs here and go for a push at the end. 3
races within 2 games in the divisional races in the majors. AL East, Toronto has a 2-game lead over the Yanks. 3 over Boston, who's won 10 in a row randomly going into the break. The Phillies and the Mets, as we've talked about, are going to go back and forth probably another 25 times. Philly with a half-game lead after finally getting one in San Diego yesterday. And then the Brewers, who've won 7 in a row, have gotten it within 1 on the Cubs. And it's not like the Cubs have played poorly. The Brewers have just been hot over the last few weeks. So tight races abound in the majors. And even the Dodgers leads down to 5.5. Astros with a 5-game lead on Seattle. There's only one double-digit lead in majors, and that is, of course, the Detroit Tigers, who had a bad weekend against the Mariners, got swept at home, but still, even with that, an 11.5-game lead on Minnesota in the American League Central entering this weekend's action. All right, Dwayne, give me a quick nod if you hear us right now. There we go. See, that's plenty of nods for our guy, Dwayne Colucci, joining us right now here on the show. Colucci, we're going to give you the floor before we do anything home run derby wise. This is a good week for you, the person behind the counter, where you get to take a breath also and say, all right, the All-Star game, the home run derby, they're fun, but they're exhibitions. Now the real stuff comes for Major League Baseball here in the second half.
Yeah, without a doubt, Jeff. And like you guys were saying earlier on, you get to study a little football this week. Get prepared for Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf, and you get ready for Saratoga. There's still plenty of stuff to do. We're actually doing a little remodeling in the sports book. So, yeah, it's great to take a step back and, take a deep breath. But yeah, the first half was exciting, just like you guys said. You have a lot of leads that diminished. Last week we spoke about the Cubs. I mean, 7-1. Geez, I mean that's a heavy price, definitely for a division that is up for grabs. And like you said, the Dodgers, they were on a huge losing streak up until the weekend, and it's good to see. Just play the Giants and we get right and healthy. So definitely the Dodgers still 5.5. Giants now slipped into the third position. Mets are playing good ball. I mean, Juan Soto's starting to hit. So, like we said, you touched upon it, Jeff, back and forth in that division. And, the AL Central just fell apart around Detroit. Even though they had a bad weekend, they're still way ahead. Yankees and Toronto are a dogfight. Like you said, Red Sox with a 10-game winning streak. That's kind of been the shock of the last half of the month. Or basically the first half, I should say, of the month of July. That's been a tremendous shock. And Tampa Bay's still right there at 5.5. Houston, they played great ball. They destroyed the Dodgers, but yet their lead is only 5. So we got a great second half to look forward to. You know how the All-Star game is and how that plays out. We'll get some handle, but nothing massive. And the Home Run Derby is tremendous fun tonight. Definitely more I like to focus on the Home Run Derby, believe it or not, than the All-Star game. Maybe you could get a price. I always like the propositions where you see a plus next to the player's name as opposed to 7-1 on the Cubs, like we said. So I'm always looking for a price that's of value, and definitely a big week coming up in the second half of the week when we slide into the second half of baseball. I know Chris is working on, games of the year and stuff like that for college. And you start to really focus on college and the NFL. It becomes really, really important. And it is the important time of the season to, study up and gather as much information as you can. Listen to this show. We're going to break down every NFL team, like Jeff and Alex have said. They're going to break it down with their knowledge, and it's just amazing knowledge. And that's why, day in, day out, we really work hard on Sports by the Book to provide you with information from one side and from my side of the counter as well. That's why, you're going to see me, Chris, Vinny. We'll tell you where the money's going, and definitely Alex and Jeff will give their opinion from the handicapper side. Yeah, we actually will be beginning our NFL previews this week. We did a bunch of work on some very bad teams this week, so we'll do our best to get through the slop that is the bottom of the league, at least going in. Even though a few teams with the lower win totals that might be able to surprise that we'll discuss throughout the week. But Dwayne, before we get to our home run derby discussion / draft, which we concocted right before the show here, you talked about it a little bit though. But as you now slide into the second half, give me 2 baseball things that you're looking forward to, that whether it's a team that you expect to get hot, a team to fall out, or just anything in general, 2 things that you're fully looking forward to for as either a fan or behind the counter for the second half of baseball. Jeff, I'll be honest with you, and it's going to make you real happy. I'm really hoping that the Dodgers and Mets could play in the playoffs again.
Be fine with
they
me,
seem
Dwayne.
to be, yeah, that would be a tremendous series. And, you could see how they hooked up earlier in the season as well. So, I'm really looking forward to that. I think the Mets are a very solid team when they're healthy. If the Dodgers pitchers could start to get healthy and they could open up a lead, they're going to be there. They already have a substantial lead. And, we basically in the past few weeks have said how strong they are and that they're definitely the prominent team in baseball. But yeah, I definitely want to see that. And I want to see if Detroit could win a playoff series. That would be the second thing, because they're going to be there. But usually these teams that lack heavy competition in their division, they come in with this stellar record, over 100 wins. They look like they're the favorite, but then you get locked into a series, and some of those wild card and divisional series rounds are very, very difficult. And I want to see if this Detroit team is built, and definitely they look like they are from a pitching standpoint, but can they hit the ball and produce and beat teams like the Yankees, the Astros, and so forth, who may be there in their competition? So that's very exciting. And, you do have a good home run chase as well in the American League. That would be the third thing. Aaron Judge is just phenomenal. 350 homers in like 1,000 less, at-bats than McGuire. It's just tremendous. To see this kid produce. He is a phenom. He is one of the best power hitters we've ever seen in the history of baseball. So to grasp that and to enjoy it, and definitely it's going to be entertaining down the stretch to see if Raleigh could continue on, and press Aaron Judge a little, because he's been had a tremendous first half. We'll see how good he is in the home run derby tonight too. And sometimes if you overexert yourself in this derby, you seem to, get tired in the second half. So Cal Raleigh's got to anticipate that, because a lot of guys who have won the home run derby have tailed off in the second half of the season. We know that. So I don't know if that's a handicapping angle or anything, but that'll be the third exciting thing. But yeah, definitely Dodgers Mets are on the top of my list. I'm hoping to see that late in the season and into the playoffs, and maybe even for a trip to the World Series.
Dwayne, earlier you said it's been a great first half, and I couldn't agree anymore. I think it's been one of the most entertaining. It's been very competitive. I'm interested in your thoughts here, because some of the best teams, we talked about the Dodgers, and even like the Mets and the Phillies, we've seen a couple guys get hot, but we really haven't seen their full lineups go. In this second half, this is where we anticipate some of the best teams and the teams that we've seen in the playoffs as of late really start to gel and connect and get their full lineups going, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see Soto now getting used to the Met lineup. And, with him, Alonso, Lindor is just phenomenal talent. When you have all these guys and then you start to throw in Nimmo and guys like that, and if they're healthy, McNeil and so forth, then it's a full lineup and it's very exciting. And, Bryce Harper as well. You want to see him fully healthy, extending himself and playing at a high level, hitting home runs and playing in games that are very meaningful down the stretch, when you get to September and October. That's where Reggie Jackson got his name, Mr. October. That's when you want to produce if you're a superstar player. And definitely it's going to be interesting to see if these lineups could get healthy. Same thing with the Yankees. You want to see Stanton playing at a good level. You saw that they cut ties with DJ. He was just taking up a spot on the roster, basically, they felt, due to health and condition of his body. So, you want to see Judge. You want to see Bellinger. 3 home runs the other night. Just phenomenal, stroking the ball. If Stanton could get going, that's what we're looking for. Jazz Chisholm, these guys to play together as a unit and start to hit the ball. So that's a great question, Alex. And definitely we're hoping that a lot of these players could stay healthy down the stretch and produce for their teams. And you could see these fabulous lineups from top to bottom hit the ball and produce runs. And it makes it even more difficult on the opposing pitchers when these teams have their full lineup. So you have to keep your eye on that as well, who the opposing pitcher is, how successful they are against certain hitters. And, you do your handicapping and you go from there.
All right, Dwayne, let's look at the home run derby. We're going to do our draft in a second. Brian, are you going to get the mini box in the corner today again? It'll be a lot of fun if we get that. But here's what
let's get Ryan in here.
No, Ryan is going to be.
He's my biggest fan.
Oh, yeah. There he is. He's there. We know Ryan. Well, we're all your biggest fan, Dwayne. Let's be real with ourselves. So
nobody says Kaluch though like Ryan. I love it.
True.
We hear it at various points of the show. It's just fabulous.
So here are the odds on your screen, and just real quick, the actual odds to win the Derby, which are the ones on the left, those are from here at the South Point and up at Dwayne's shop at the Rampart. The numbers to the right, those are from DraftKings to make the final or to hit the longest home run in the Derby. So Oneil Cruz is your betting favorite here at the South Point, up at the Rampart at plus 330. Then Raleigh at plus 360, of course, having an historic year for the Seattle Mariners behind the dish. Rookie phenom James Wood at plus 450 for the Washington Nationals. Matt Olson, who replaced Ronald Acuna because of injury, 6-1, the homestanding Brave, and made sure they had one in this Derby. They had plenty of selections, too. They could have thrown Ozuna, Alba. They could have thrown a whole bunch of players on that team in. But Olson, I think the right selection for Acuna. Byron Buxton at plus 850, who actually has the longest home run of anyone in the Derby this year, a 478-foot shot earlier in the year on a cold day at Target Field. Brent Rooker, the Athletic at 9-1. Chisholm, amazingly not the long shot in this Derby at 10-1. And the junior Caminero at 11-1. So we're going to do a little draft here. So here's the deal.
The Alex White Invitational.
Yes, the Alex White Invitational. Yep, that's correct. So it will be all four of us, Ryan McCormick's included. Each of us will get two players. It will be a snake draft. The order that was randomly selected, and Sean, Drew Dog, and Vince all witness to the random selection. I will be going first. Alex will be going second. Dwayne will be going third. Ryan will be going fourth. But Ryan does have a little bit of advantage because he'll have number 4 and number 5. Right. I will be waiting to pick until number 8. Yet again, it's the most total homers. But if you select the winner, you will get an extra 10 home runs. So if you pick the winner, you get a nice little addition to your scores, especially if your second pick or your first pick ends up flaming out in this. So, Dwayne, you ready? Ryan, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ryan's smiling away. Alex and I, and we know we're ready here. So with the first pick in this Alex White Invitational for the Home Run Derby, I am taking the guy who I've said now since he was named into the field that was my pick. I'm in on him at plus 475 over at Circa. I am on the one and only James Wood of the Washington Nationals, who this event is made for. I know everyone is pointing to Oneil Cruz because if you're going average, hardest hit ball in this field, it is Oneil Cruz. That's why he is the favorite. But James Wood is not too far behind him. And James Wood is more power to me. And you're hitting in a ballpark that is going to favor left-handed hitters. Yeah, Cruz will hit left-handed in this. Raleigh will hit left-handed, obviously. Olson and Chisholm are also left-handed hitters. But in the end, James Wood, if you can get anything over $4, whether it's come down to the South Point, go to Circa, or search on other books across the country, find anything that's north of $4 on James Wood, I would take it right now because there's a lot of plus 380, plus 375 out there on James Wood. But I'm taking him. He's the first pick here in this draft, Alex.
And we got to give Jeff some credit here because you'll see James Wood's name. He's kind of popular on the Twitter space, our sports betting media. But
I was before everybody.
Jeff
Alex.
really was. As soon as he was announced that he would be in this, he couldn't wait to see the odds. So glad you got your first pick there with James Wood. With the second pick, I am a little concerned. Some things against me here with Raleigh because no catcher has ever won the home run derby. So that's going against us already. He does have his dad throwing to him, which could be great or not so great. We'll see how it works out. But since we are counting up how many home runs these guys are going to hit, 38 on the year, having a great year, seeing the ball so well, I'm going to pick Raleigh to at least help bump up my number here and give us a lot of home runs. I think he can definitely make it to the semis, potentially even the finals here. We'll have plenty of at-bats. So Raleigh for the number 2 pick here.
Dwayne Colucci is up next.
Well, I guess I'm forced to take the favorite. I mean, everybody's taking a pass on Oneil. I don't know why. I got to definitely take Cruz in this position. Like Alex said, though, she brings up a lot of good points. Raleigh, it's going to be hit or miss how these catches do. I remember I was so excited to see Mike Piazza in the home run derbies that he would never produce in those things. And, in batting practice, he was phenomenal. You know that. I mean, there was the stories about the Dodgers with Caros, him, Mondesi just, matching monster home runs. So it's hit or miss with the catchers. Definitely a solid pick. I was looking at Wood. I like that at plus 450 at our shop. So definitely come down. He has an excellent chance, but I'll take Cruz.
Ryan McCormick with 2 picks here.
Alrighty. Well, with the number 4 pick, I will take the number 4 guy on that list, the guy that is the hosting home run derby participant, I will take Matt Olson with no problem. The former A super slugger for them. So Matt Olson. And then,
No, I don't think we have him on.
I'll just. Did you legitimately just forget to hit the button?
No. Everybody else can hear me. Just we're on Dwayne's mix. He can't hear me.
All right. So Dwayne,
I can barely hear him. I can barely hear him, but you can repeat.
Ryan's first pick is Matt Olson. So there you go. Okay. Ryan, continue.
And then with the fifth pick, the fan favorite seems to be Byron Buxton right now. I will not be doing it. No home run derby participant in the recent setting, other than Teoscar Hernandez, has been over the age of 26. So I will not be taking Byron Buxton. I will also not be taking Brent Rooker. I will be taking Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Nice.
That slugger. He has he is behind James Wood and Oneil Cruz in exit velocity in this derby. So I will be taking Junior Caminero with the fifth pick.
Nice pick, Ryan. The Caminero at the bottom, kind of the unknown name in this field, just because, again, it's the Rays. And again, him and Jonathan Aranda, who is also an all-star, have had tremendous seasons. It's good to see Caminero get the recognition and get in this field. Ryan's second pick. All right, Dwayne, Buxton, Rooker, and Chisholm remaining on the board for you.
Buxton, Rooker, and Chisholm. Okay, all right. I'll take a shot with let's take a shot with the young gun Jazz. At least he's hitting lefty. He's got a lot of heart, this kid. He'll definitely look to showcase his talents on this center stage. He's definitely a ham for the cameras and everything. So Jazz could excel in a situation like this. I'm going to take the long shot. And like Jeff said, he should be the longest price on the board. But, now he's with Junior. So I guess they're the same price. But I'll take a shot with Jazz.
Wow. I was not expecting to have these.
I was fully anticipating being stuck with Chisholm at the end. So, Dwayne, but again, this ballpark will favor the left-handed hitters. So, Chisholm, obviously, the only of the bottom four odds, the only left-handed hitter of Buxton, Rooker, Caminero, and, of course, Jazz. Alex, you got your pick between Buxton and Rooker here.
Right, and I totally thought I was taking a Caminero, and I was okay with that. But I will go with Byron Buxton. I was actually looking at him as a long shot anyways. Brian's kind of worried about his age. I think that can actually help him. And we saw it with Hernandez last year, right? These guys, when they jump in they're actually playing to win. So I like Byron Buxton. I was a little worried because he got hit the other day. But I'm going to take him here in this spot to help us pump up our home run score. So I like it. Raleigh and Buxton for me. And you.
I'm thrilled with getting Rooker. I know. Because if I was picking in Ryan's slot, I would have taken Rooker with the fifth pick. It's interesting in this event where last year you don't see long shots win this event very often. Teoscar Hernandez was 10-1, 12-1 last year. It was a surprise. You also, as Ryan said, and this is really just a detraction to Buxton more so than anything, and also Rooker as well, because he's, again, 30 years old. It doesn't feel like Rooker is that old, but he is. No. That when you get above, Ryan, it was 28, correct?
It was either 28 or 26.
Yeah, it was. I think there's one in the other than Teoscar. That was the only one over the age of 26. I think Ryan is right on that second number. But look, Rooker hits for pop. It is not, again, this is a pretty even ballpark, right-handed to left-handed. It is an advantage to the left-hand hitters, but it's not an insane advantage hitting in Truist Park. I'll take my shot on Rooker. I don't mind that. Very happy to have him closing it out. But again, as I've said, Alex, just going through it, and I'll even pull out a whiteboard today. Today on this. But James, I had Teoscar last year. Got lucky in the end that he ended up winning. Trying to make it 2 years in a row. I really do like James Wood here to get this done. He is a special talent that everyone is going to know about after tonight. I like your Raleigh idea. I think Raleigh of the two co-favorites is the bit more apt to win this. But as you said, catchers never wanted. As Dwayne correctly pointed out, Mike Piazza was in an event multiple times, and he never did well in this event, and he was the best power hitting catcher of all time. So just curious how big of a handicap that truly is, being a catcher in this event. Dwayne, just to go away from the Derby here for a second, you mentioned the All-Star game, which Alex and I will talk about probably for about 4 or 5 minutes tomorrow at most. this is really not it's really not a betting event anymore, right? I mean, just because no pitchers going more than an inning. The hitters are really the starters are getting 2 at bats at most. It really just a very hard handicap unless if you're like, you know what, I'm taking the no run in the first inning in the All-Star game, or I'm taking under in the first 5. Like, those are really the only 2 things you can realistically do in this. Right now, the National League is a slight favorite here at the South Point, and a total of 7.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot, definitely. That's why Handel, has dipped on this game for several years just because of the fact, like Jeff said, at one point it was valuable because you get a home field advantage, in the World Series or whatever. But, now it's totally it seems like the managers just roll these players out and then they run out of players sometimes because the game is usually low scoring and tight. So, I don't know. It's not like it used to be. I used to love the old days. I would get real excited. Dave Parker throwing guys out at home, Reggie hitting monstrous homers in Detroit, and even Darryl Strawberry, guys like that were just tremendous. You would want to see Eric Davis. You would want to see all these guys on the center stage. You throw Fernando out there, maybe you get what did he do? He struck out like the first 6 batters, and Teddy Higuera followed him up. Those were the good old days. The game was exciting. The guys would stay out there for a couple of innings. Now it's just 10 pitches, sometimes 15 pitches. You're out. You're pulling guys constantly, interchanging and swapping guys. So it's almost impossible to handicap. Like Jeff said, you take a flyer if you enjoy the game. It's part of the tradition of Major League Baseball. You take a shot, you pick your team. I don't think lineups at Superstar Power have anything to do with it because you're only going to get 1 at-bat. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe 2 at-bats for guys like Judge and stuff like that. But, it's lost its luster a little bit, in my opinion. And you could see it's lost its luster with Sports by the Book if Jeff and Alex are only going to talk about it for 4 minutes.
I might even take the under on that, honestly, Dwayne. Might take the under on that. But we'll have to find out on tomorrow's show, Alex.
Yeah, it's a luck. But Dwayne, you got to take it for what it is, right? I, for some reason, was thinking that we had Skubal and Paul Skeens last year, but we didn't. We had Corbin Burns. So, just to even have Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens both getting the start here, you just take it for what it is and just enjoy it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Look at them 2 superstars. Skeens is the face of, pitching right now for the younger generation. And it's just tremendous to see these 2 guys go at it. Tariq has had a fabulous, fabulous season. And you can't find any flaws in these 2 pitchers. It's going to be exciting to see them take the mound, see what stuff they have. Maybe mix it in a little like the unit used to. Throw a little high pitch there at the first batter. Make it more exciting. Put a little flair on it. The All-Star game is all about fun and definitely about tradition, and seeing these 2 guys represent the American League and the National League, I tell you, it's just phenomenal to see 2 young superstars, especially Skeens, out there.
I'll watch the first inning, see these guys do their things, and I'll probably be going on with my night after Paul Skeens records the 3rd out in the first inning. Or excuse me, not Paul Skeens, Tariq Skubal, of course. NL is the home team in this game. But hey, they're at least wearing the real uniforms this year as opposed to the
I am excited about that.
So it'll actually look like a classic All-Star
good.
game finally again after all these years. All right, Dwayne, we'll let you go here on a Monday. We will have you back. Actually, you know what? I lied. I have to ask you one last question. British Open starts on Thursday morning, almost Wednesday night here in the West Coast. Anything at your shop pop in the lead up here as we get ready for the Open in Northern Ireland at Royal Portrush?
We're getting solid handle, definitely. This is one of the majors, and everybody looks forward to the majors, looking forward to the matchups. All the names are there, definitely. A long shot, maybe Cameron Young. He played solid. Recently. He's about 60-1, I believe, at the Rampart in South Point. So I'll be looking to take a shot with him. You can see how Scotty's taking tremendous action. I would definitely be looking to buck Rory McIlroy at this point. I'm not so sure how his head is and how he is going into this tournament, but you could see he's 7-1. We're taking a nice ticket count on him. John Rahm is always very popular. Bryson has been popular as well. Down from 25-1 to 20-1. You could see that we're taking some action. Justin Thomas 40-1. little high ticket count there as well. But this is going to be a tremendous tournament, and it's so difficult for the American golfers to travel over there. This course plays very difficult at times, so it's going to be interesting to see who could excel and get out there to an early lead and maintain. But basically, I think as a long shot, I'll be looking at Cameron Young on this field. Scotty's definitely the front runner, but that doesn't mean anything at the British Open. It's a tremendous tournament and a very difficult, course to navigate, and keep your eye on the weather conditions as well.
Always keep your eye on the weather conditions across the pond. Always, because
yes, always
it can legitimately change the course of the tournament in just one day. Again, 3 guys short of 10-1. Scotty Scheffler actually has gone up to 4-1 from last week. So people going away from the favorite. Rory McIlroy, talked about this before. The last time this event was at Royal Portrush, Rory missed the cut, had a horrible round 1, just couldn't quite get over the hill in the second round, had shot 65, and it wasn't enough in order to make the cut. That's how bad round 1 was. John Rahm now at 8-1. Everybody else is 20-1 or longer, including the defending champion, Xander Schauffele. We'll have more to talk about tomorrow on the show with this. Wes Reynolds will join us at the top of the show, talking golf on the program tomorrow. Dwayne, pleasure as always. Go about your Monday. Enjoy the day. I know you have some ponies to play as well. Thanks as always for joining us here on a Monday on Sports by the Book.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Alex. And yes, there is Ellis Park today, which is a nice addition to a dead Monday usually. So we'll be definitely looking for some ponies. I think Jacobson's got a horse in the 6th. Take a look at that horse. David Jacobson, trainer in the 6th race at Ellis. I'm not sure of the name. I don't have my racing form in front of me, but I was handicapping last night. And Finger Lakes has a tremendous card today. You got several of the riders from Saratoga, Manuel Franco, and I know Brad Cox has some horses there today, which is tremendous. Joe Sharp, those are top trainers in the Midwest that are actually having horses at Finger Lakes. So keep an eye. Great horse racing today for a Monday, which is shocking. And always listen to Sports by the Book. This week upcoming, there's going to be so much information, guys. Jeff and Alex are going to supply tremendous information. Can't believe Wes is even on the show, going to do a little golf. He's fabulous. He's one of the best golf handicappers in the United States. So definitely listen to Wes tomorrow with the British Open. And Sports by the Book has got it all going on, guys. This is the premier sports talk, radio, and video show. Pay attention. We're going to give you valuable information constantly straight from Las Vegas, still the gambling capital of the world, and definitely the sports betting capital. So, guys, you do a fabulous job. I can't say enough. Join us each and every day during the week. Tremendous knowledge.
Our guy, the best promoter in the business, Dwayne Colucci, with us every Monday at the top of the show. Thank you to Dwayne, as always. You and I are going to take a quick break, Alex. We're going to give our official Home Run Derby plays. We kind of hinted at it in our draft, but we'll give the official plays. And then we'll tell you what's coming this week on the show from an NFL perspective. We're getting ever so closer to week 1. Less than 8 Sundays away from week 1 in the National Football League. When we get back, Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
got to get to the point here in the summertime, folks. And you got to listen to us here at Sports by the Book here at the South Point studio. I'm Jeff Parles. She is Alex White. Our guy, Dwayne Colucci, the best, as always.
He is the best.
The best of all. By the way, today is such a special day. I even have a whiteboard today. So we might, if the person on the whiteboard wins, which if you're listening earlier, you kind of know where I'm going. I might have to break it out for the whole second half. You never know.
That's true. Actually, Jeff, you're putting yourself in
might be in a bind here, Alex.
That's right.
Might be required by everyone out there. By the way, the trivia question already readily available, but he is. Yeah. Well, so is Matt Olson and Cal Raleigh. But there we go. And also my own jersey's behind me. All right, so Alex, let's talk some Derby real quick. Just going through this. So. Here are the odds once more time here at the South Point. Oneil, Cruz, and Cal Raleigh are your co-betting favorites. And again, the key to the operation today for everybody, you have to shop around. You have to shop around on all these prices because there is a huge range across the market on all these guys. Oneil Cruz is the best price I've seen on Cruz is about plus 330. So there's a 30-cent difference from here at the South Point. You can get Cal Raleigh at circa plus 345. You can find a plus 350 out there. James Wood, that's about as good of a price as you can get. Only circa slightly better at plus 475 than here at the South Point. Matt Olson, shop around. You can get as high as 9-1. Byron Buxton, you can get as high as 9-1. Caminero, that's the highest price in the market right now here at the South Point at 12-1. So you have to shop around. Look, we always say shop around, but this event more than any, you're leaving a lot. You're leaving money on the table. Like if you bet, and again, I don't want to say that because again, Olson, this is one of the shorter odds anywhere on Olson at 6-1. But if you can go out and get Olson at plus 875, $100 bet, you're leaving $275 on the table.
Yeah.
That is not nothing, obviously. So shop around. If you like Junior Caminero, come down to the South Point to bet Junior Caminero, the long shot, who Ryan McCormick picked with the 5th pick in our draft, is available here at the South Point.
And I do like him because, I mean, one of the factors we talk about who's throwing to them a lot. And of course, they're not going to win it for them, but they could really hurt them. And especially if, they don't have it right in the spot where they need it, or even just, the tempo that these hitters like to hit at. So with Caminero, he's got a Thomas Francisco pitching for him who was just throwing to a Rosarina in a home run derby. So he's been there, knows what he's doing. And to your point with the favorites, be careful, tread lightly, betting some of these favorites because it is really tough, and we have seen some longer shots come through here. So you're kind of looking for value when it comes to the home run derby. I will say I like that you can bet on players to make it to the semis, especially with this new formula that we only saw once last year, and that's in the first round. It is the 4 best move on, or whoever hits the most. For 4 move on, 4 are out. Where it used to be head to head, and it was a lot tougher to actually handicap to make it to the semis. Now I think you could actually take a shot. I like Matt Olson, who this is his 2nd home run derby. I like him to at least move on to the next round.
I actually like this format.
Me too.
Get just everyone flat out, and then you seed them from there. Fine, no issue with that. And that's actually part of the reason that Teoscar won last year. So I was very happy with that. Obviously,
I really did think you had the winner when we were talking about it.
I had Teoscar last year.
Yes, you did.
I bet it too small, but I had the winner. Which, hey, look, a small bet at 12-1. That's still. You still ended up with a reasonable amount of money there. It was Teoscar, Witt, Bohm, and Ramirez were the 4 that made it to the semi. So Circa and BetMGM and some other books, but really only look at, especially if you're in Nevada, only look at Circa and BetMGM because the other numbers that are out there aren't the best right now to advance to the semifinal. So the overwhelming favorite to advance to round 2 is Oneil Cruz at minus 210. Circa is offering the no out there as well.
Wow.
I would take a small little sprinkle of plus 180 on the no for Oneil Cruz to advance. I get it. He's a missile launcher. He hits the ball extraordinarily hard. I don't know. I think he's a little bit overrated here in this field. And of the guys to advance, I actually kind of like Junior Caminero plus 150. That is the best price by margin to advance to the semifinal. I would take a shot on that. It would not shock me if Caminero ends up making the final here and ends up just coming up short, Alex. Would not shock me one bit.
So can you tell us all those numbers? Who are we getting plus money with?
Plus money to advance. So this is the yes.
Right.
To make the semifinal. Caminero's plus 150. Buxton is plus 115. That's plus 115. So is Rooker, same number, plus 115. I was actually misspoke. Chisholm is plus 170 to make it to the semifinal as well, which actually might not be a terrible price as much as I've ragged on Chisholm this whole week of him being in the field. Left-handed hitter in that ballpark, guy going in with absolutely no expectations.
Right.
You could see that. Olson is even.
Okay.
So those are the guys who you are at least getting a price or not having to lay a price on the yes. The three you have to lay prices on, James Wood is minus 145 to make the semis. Raleigh is minus 180, and Oneil Cruz is minus 210, which I think is crazy personally on both. Honestly, I think all of them, laying the price on all those guys is a little bit nuts. Even as much as I love Wood, I don't love that number on minus 145 to make the semis.
No, I don't either. And I do think that is pretty intriguing, plus 180 for Cruz not to make it, because I do think he's a little overpriced here as well. But I'm with you. I do like Junior Caminero to make the semis, and I do like Matt Olson at even money there. Might throw a little bit on my long shots here with Byron Buxton. Cal Raleigh account, not much you can do. Like you said, I could shop around, maybe find a better number, but I think I'm going to stay off him as a favorite.
Alex, any other bets that you're looking at here in this Derby tonight?
I don't know if we have it. I've heard there are some longest, or what will the longest home run hit be? I don't know if we have it in our
I can pull
jurisdiction,
it up.
but
so it will probably be out of the jurisdiction based off this, because Circa's got most home runs in the first round by any player is 25, which feels heavy since last year the most was 21. Now, granted, it's a better hitter's park this year in Truist than Globe Life a year ago. I'll look that up on. So you got the longest ones on here of who will have the longest homer in the Derby. That's Oneil Cruz plus 145, and then Wood plus 350. Not
there
surprised.
We go. Look at Ryan's got that lower third up right there, 479.5.
Over.
You think so?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I would go over. Buxton, keep in mind, so the longest home run by anyone in this field hit this year in an actual game was Buxton at 478.
Right, and now we've got.
Now we're trying to hit home runs. What is that? Well, the Derby, that nose should have an extra 3 zeros. Actually, that actually is one of those where, again, it's not a fair price based off what the S is, but no one's hitting a 522 or it's 520 is the record, Ryan. 520 is the record. Yeah, if we're a course field, maybe, but not Atlanta, Georgia here tonight, to say the very least. Which, by the way, real quick, just for everyone's, just for posterity here, it will be in the low 90s tonight when they start. It'll be 90, high 80s, negligible wind in Cobb County here tonight. So it will be hot. So good for hitting the ball out of the ballpark. All right. Anything else we're looking at here, Alex?
That's it for me. Anything for you?
No, we're good to go on what we're going to do. So we're going to take a break. When we get back, trivia answer, whiteboards, and then we're out of here for a Monday. But we'll also explain to you as well before we get out of here what we're doing for the NFL starting this week. You'll be rounding to be on the lookout for that when we get back. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone. And if you're craving a taste of Italy, come experience delicious Italian cuisine and the attentive service at Don Vito's. Our culinary team starts with the freshest ingredients and transforms them into traditional favorites. And don't forget Italian desserts. Don Vito's. Savor the taste of Italy. Finally, if sushi is more your style, join us at the popular Zenshin Asian restaurant and sushi bar, where we're serving up the freshest sashimi, nigiri, and sushi rolls. And beyond the sushi, an exciting contemporary Asian cuisine menu, plus a variety of specialty drinks, Japanese and domestic beer, wine, and sake. Balance your hunger with Zenshin.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio, wrapping things up here on a Monday. Before we get to the trivia question and the whiteboards, which I'm so excited I even put mine up already. I'll just say this. Actually, since you're probably going to take my one shot, I'm going to go down there. So our NFL previews will begin this week. So on Wednesday, we'll really just give a full overview here live on the show, especially since there's not much of anything going on. We'll have our official Open Championship picks tomorrow on the show with Wes Reynolds joining us as well at the top. But we're also starting our individual team previews, which will be available to you on our YouTube page beginning this week. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. So the lowest win totals will go first, and we'll work our way all the way up to the best of the league when we're done with this in about a month from now, Alex. So be on the lookout for our previews. Titans and Browns get to be up first. Right. Boy, what a train wreck of a quarterback situation in Cleveland, I can tell you that. We're looking forward to doing that later today, and you'll be available on our YouTube page throughout the week. I'm
really looking forward to Wednesday's show, so please, everybody, join us. I think it'll be a very good base for you looking into the year coming up in the NFL, because we'll go through win totals for all of these teams, where they're sitting in divisions, where they're sitting for conference to win that conference. And as we go through all the prices, kind of like we said, we'll shop around, tell you where you can get the best numbers, and then kind of give you some clues on where we're going with certain divisions and maybe even playoffs for both the AFC and NFC. So that should be a very good broad overlook for us. And then, breaking down each team should be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll talk about coaches awards, rookie awards, offensive and defensive, if they pop up for certain teams, and should be a lot of fun.
Will be. Always fun to talk football. We know that here on the show. All right, trivia question here today. We got a motorsports question. On this date in 2019, F1 driver Sir, I remember Lewis Hamilton is knighted, so Sir Lewis Hamilton won his record 6th British Formula One Grand Prix. How many times has Hamilton taken the podium at Silverstone, which is the track for the F1 British race to date, and for which constructors? It's a complicated one here from Vince. Might have even been too complicated here today, Vince. Hamilton has taken 15 podiums to date at Silverstone, with the most recent one being his win a year ago. And he's done it with 3 different constructors: McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari. 2? Oh, what did we mistake? Didn't do it with Ferrari? Correct? McLaren and Mercedes, right? Okay, there you go. So he's done it with McLaren and Mercedes. Of course, he's with Ferrari now. But Nick was the one who got the correct answers here. So we erred here at the trivia headquarters here but Nick got it right with the 2 with McLaren and Mercedes, and 15 times to date on the podium in England. All right, whiteboard time, Alex, here on a Monday, and it's just home run derby related. So
Yeah.
Alex, you can hit it first.
All right, I'm not taking an outright winner. I'm just going to do a small bet on two guys to make it to the semis here at plus money. So I'm going with Matt Olson, representing here, and he's already been in a home run derby, so even money for him. And then I'm taking a shot here with Junior Caminero at plus 150. I like how this new format is. So everybody's get a shot here in that first round. So take in mind with these two. I will say Attila is also going to join you, Jeff, when you show yours. So might be some other people in the chat who gave us their picks today.
Yeah, the big issue for me today is James Wood is on there. We will actually put the whiteboard up correctly first. See, when I don't do this on a daily basis, we end up with that. That's plus 475 on the end. That's the best number in the market. Plus 450 is still good. Wouldn't go lower than $4, even though I still don't think that's a great price. But I've said it before. Kid hits the ball extraordinarily hard. This ballpark's better for left-handed hitters. The only issue that I have is that it seems like the public is all over James Wood, and that always scares the hell out of me in these types of events. But I've had more success than I probably have should in the past. Like we won with Teoscar Hernandez. We won twice with Pete Alonso. So this has been a reasonable event for me through the years for whatever reason. So we'll be on James Wood here today. And I will tell you, if you want to take some small shots on Caminero, you want to take a small shot on Buxton, I don't mind that. I like your Caminero to make the semis at plus 150 as well here today. All right. That's all we got here on a Monday. Be on the lookout for our NFL season previews that are beginning this week. Tomorrow on the show, Wes Reynolds joins us talking golf. Plenty of golf here on the show tomorrow morning right here on Sports by the Book. Alex, good luck.
You too.
Ryan, thank you. Drew Dog, Vince, and Sean, Jared, the whole crew, thank you all as always. Everyone out there in the chat, thank you. Good luck if you're making a wager here tonight on the Derby. And a big thanks to our DC.
That's right. And for being a good sport.
Yeah, well, Dwayne Colucci, always a good sport and always our best marketer for the show there is. Right here as always. We're back tomorrow. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. See you then.